this is, you know what, Luis? Play that video where Jones called me an asshole after the show, talking about how I treat my team.
This season is against Daniel Cormier. Oh man, what a stuffy, just dickhead Cormier really is. I think if you really get to know Daniel Cormier, he's really not.
Yeah, it was nice.
He's an asshole. He really is an asshole. I mean, he didn't really connect with any of the fighters here. He's just an asshole.
Okay. That's a different, look at the difference in that. Look at the difference in that. This wasn't that long ago. This is all after him and I did that reality show in Thailand. How does a person go from he's such an asshole to this, to this, to this, to now it's like, I would love to have this relationship with him and he doesn't hate me. That just didn't happen. You know, I watched someone, I think it might have been Luke Thomas, speaking of me and Jones and our relationship and his desire to form a bond or a friendship with me, which in reality he doesn't really want to do. Islam and Gary's going to be a good fight. Probably better than most of y'all think. And why is there even interest in two old dudes arguing with each other? What is Jon Jones now, 40? I'm 47 years old. We're old-ass men that just, you know what's crazy? Generally, when you get older, you start to dislike people more because you get a little more cranky. I'm more cranky than I was before. So yeah, Jon Jones, I do still hate you. And I hope hey, he's done a great job with Gable Steveson, him and his coaching staff. But of course they are. They're a great coaching staff. Greg Jackson, Mike Winklejohn, Coach, Lance, I think his name is Lance. Dude, they're insane coaches. They're insane coaches. They've done a great job with Gable. Jon seems to be invested in Gable and doing a great job with him. And all power to him and hats off to him for doing a good job and proving to me he's a much better coach than I thought, if he is making that commitment as it seems like he is. But that didn't happen. We did not have that conversation where I sat to him and said, when the cameras are rolling, you're my enemy. No, he's just my enemy all the time. It just is what it is. And
Being around Jon Jones it's different because we had such a bad history. But the reality is I'm done fighting now. And it's like that part of it's gone, so it's not nearly as nasty. But I think that we've done a good job of being professional as much as we can. Obviously, we argue a lot, but that's just the status of our relationship. But I think that we've gotten to a point in our lives where we can be in the same area without...
It seems that the feud between Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier will not be ending anytime soon. Even though it appeared that both former champions had let go of their rivalry, Jon Jones was not done making headlines by saying something about his nemesis. But this time around, Daniel Cormier decided he wasn't going to take it lying down. The former two-time champion responded right away, setting off another of the greatest feuds in the world of mixed martial arts. And even though several years have passed since those incredible bouts in the octagon, the rivalry is still as heated as ever. And what else did Joneses say? Let's break down the latest in the saga of this rivalry and more.
I don't recall having a moment of shaking hands or not shaking hands with DC. I would shake his hand if I had the opportunity to. I attempted to create some sort of relationship, a positive relationship with him multiple times throughout the TV show. One time we were sitting down on the couch together and I said, isn't this nice for us to just sit here with no problems, you know, just enjoy the moment? And he goes, yeah, this is nice. But he said, Jon, being your enemy has made me too much money over the years. So I say, even though I have no problem with you, when the cameras turn on, I can never be your friend in front of people. People thinking that we hate each other is very lucrative to me, and I want it to be like this. And I said, okay, all right, cool. But I respect him for telling me that he actually doesn't hate me. To him, there's a part of it that's business. There's probably another side inside of him. I'll never be his favorite person. I'll never be his favorite person because I beat him in a time where he was considered one of the greatest fighters on the planet. Yeah. You know, I'm the one person that has come between him being considered one of the greatest fighters ever. Myself and I guess Stipe Miocic, right? Never took steroids. There's a supplement found in my body. It was proven to come from a supplement company that I was using. It was a tainted supplement that I was using. The amount of this substance that was in my body was so small that it took very expensive scientists to be able to even find it. And the supplement that was found in my body has zero performance enhancing effects. Zero. And that's very well documented. And for some reason, the fans, they ignore all that. And they're just like, something about steroids. He's guilty. There's no way he could be. I never did. And that was proven. It's funny because the fighters like to be like, Jon Jones is a knucklehead. But then they're like, but he's brilliant enough to do steroids and trick the UFC scientists. It's like, which one is it? Am I the knucklehead or am I the mad genius who somehow got away with doing steroids?
On the issue at hand, Cormier denied allegations regarding him and Jones being a money-making scheme. He recognized the fact that their rivalry created great chances for the two boxers, which resulted in big paychecks. Nevertheless, he pointed out that money was not the motivation. It was only the result of having two true rivals in front of an audience that made them successful. Even though he accepted the fact that the hate between them has weakened over the years and they could be near each other without any conflicts, he said that their rivalry was always sincere.
And even the conversation, this is not a conversation that John and I had. It just isn't. Like, it's just not a conversation that we had in regards to, hey, have I made a lot of money because Jon Jones and I have been on the wrong side of each other? Yes. And so did Muhammad Ali with Joe Frazier. And so did Muhammad Ali with George Foreman. And I'm not comparing myself with him. So did Khabib with Conor McGregor. And Conor McGregor with other people. You always need a person on the other side in order to make the big dollars. That is not a false thing. John and I got big money to go to Thailand. Of course, we make money because our rivalry has been what it's been. But it doesn't mean that it's fabricated. I have told you guys on this show, it's not what it used to be. We can operate around each other. It's actually tolerable being in a certain space with Jon Jones without having to feel like we're going to run at each other and start fighting at every turn.
Cormier went ahead to add that even though time has made him less emotional about the past, he still remembers what transpired between them. The UFC star added that while he is not as angry anymore, the fact remains that he remembers the numerous insults hurled at him over many years inside and outside the octagon. For DC, those scars do not just heal with time. He further refuted any claim Jones put forward regarding the nature of their conversation, saying that it was not even a discussion in the first place. Cormier believes that Jones just can't get over his past rivalry.
I have said that. I have said that my emotions have quelled in that sense that I don't feel that burning desire to like just kill the guy. But that doesn't mean that I'm forgiving all the wrongdoings and all the things that happened over the course of the career, or I forget all the things we said, nasty things about each other. We said nasty things about each other's families. Like, that stuff doesn't just go away unless you're crazy. And I think John's crazy. But that just didn't happen. We did not have that conversation. We did not have that conversation. But again, you talk here, and whoever will listen. But it's just constant, like, it's like he's just like almost lost with this burning desire for him and I to have some.
Cormier went further to deny Jones's account on their relationship, stating that there was no discussion between them of acting like enemies every time there are cameras around. DC explained that this was true rivalry right from the start, and there was never any plan of acting for the camera. He stated further that he has no problem with the fact that not all feuds end with friendship, since some rivalries don't resolve at all. Finally, Cormier encouraged the fans to get the story from him directly, since he has no problem answering questions on the ongoing rivalry with Jones.
But that didn't happen. We did not have that conversation where I sat to him and said, when the cameras are rolling, you're my enemy. No. He's just my enemy all the time. It just is what it is. And it's okay. As I have told you before, you can go to bed at night with an enemy. You don't need the happy fairy tale ending. Everybody doesn't need that. I don't. I'm a grown man. And neither should Jon, right? Jon shouldn't need that. I always try to I don't want to necessarily be talking about all these things, but obviously someone put a microphone in front of that man's face and he started speaking on the words that I delivered, and that's not true. You can always come for here, right here at the Daniel Cormier show to know what I want to say because I'm more than willing to tell it. It is what it is. All right. Hey.
To conclude the conversation, Cormier redirected attention to the forthcoming match between Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Gary, claiming that the duel will be a lot more challenging than many spectators anticipate. In addition, he made fun of the fact that many people continue paying attention to the conversations between himself and Jones, noting that none of them is still young enough to fight. However, Cormier admitted that there is one thing that stays the same despite time passing by, and it is his attitude towards Jones.
Islam and Gary is going to be a good fight. Probably better than most of y'all think. And why is there even interest in two old dudes arguing with each other? What is Jon Jones now, 40? I'm 47 years old. We're old-ass men that just... You know what's crazy? Generally, when you get older, you start to dislike people more because you get a little more cranky. I'm more cranky than I was before. So yeah, Jon Jones, I do still hate you. And
Cormier's reaction followed the publication of an unexpected revelation from Jones about their decades-long feud, providing yet another account of the story that immediately grabbed the attention of the whole mixed martial arts community. According to Jones, the two-division champion who used to hold the title back in the day revealed that the importance of their rivalry was such that he could not afford to stop feuding with him in front of the cameras, regardless of how his attitude toward Jones had evolved over the years. This claim by Jones triggered the public discussion of their rivalry and made Cormier deny everything said and provide his own version of the story.
I don't recall having a moment of shaking hands or not shaking hands with DC. I would shake his hand if I had the opportunity to. I attempted to create some sort of relationship, a positive relationship with him multiple times throughout the TV show. One time we were sitting down on the couch together and I said, "Isn't this nice for us to just sit here with no problems, just enjoy the moment?" And he goes, "Yeah, this is nice." But he said, "Jon, being your enemy has made me too much money over the years. So I say, even though I have no problem with you, when the cameras turn on, I can never be your friend in front of people. People thinking that we hate each other is very lucrative to me, and I want it to be like this." And I said, "Okay, all right, cool." But I respect him for telling me that he actually doesn't hate me. To him, there's a part of it that's business. There's probably another side inside of him. I'll never be his favorite person. I'll never be his favorite person because I beat him in a time where he was considered one of the greatest fighters on the planet. Yeah. I'm the one person that has come between him being considered one of the greatest fighters ever. Myself, and I guess Stipe Miocic, right?
Jones didn't just stop there. He also talked about his upcoming fight against Alex Pereira and gave a reason why he had never regarded that fight to be hard for himself. Despite all of Pereira's skills of striking and knockouts, the former heavyweight title holder claimed that the main difference between them would have been their grappling. According to Jones, Pereira's skills in the area of wrestling and grappling were too raw to handle a man like him. Jones stated that he was sure that his own superior physical strength, along with his wrestling background, would have helped him to get the takedown with ease.
Everyone was hoping to see you against Pereira. How do you think that fight would go for you? Would it be an easy fight, since, as we know, Pereira has problems with wrestling? Are you very upset that you won't be fighting at the White House?
Yeah. I've watched Pereira train. I see his level of wrestling, and it's way behind. I feel as if Stipe Miocic is a true heavyweight. He's a big, big boy. Cyril Gane, when you see him in person, he's a big, big boy. Alex Pereira is not a big, big boy. He's a lean guy. I think right now he weighs maybe 250. I feel as if my physical strength would have been too much for him. And I felt as if the moment I would have gotten him to the ground, my submissions would have come pretty quickly. Everyone knows that. I think that's the clearest path to victory for me against a guy like Pereira. But we're not fighting. I am a fan of him. I support him. and I want to see him do well.
Moreover, Jones then shifted the conversation from hypothetical matchups to the current UFC landscape, singling out Khamzat Chimaev as the most dangerous fighter in the sport when he's at his best. Drawing on his own experience as one of MMA's most dominant champions, Jones said he recognizes greatness when he sees it and believes Chimaev has the ability to beat anyone if he's mentally locked in. According to the former heavyweight champion, the undefeated contender's mindset is the key factor that separates him from the rest of the division. In Jones's view, a fully focused Chimaev has all the tools needed to overcome any opponent inside the octagon.
You said that Khamzat Chimaev is capable of beating even Tom Aspinall. Is there anyone at all in the UFC roster, in any weight class, who can stop Khamzat Chimaev?
I think Khamzat, if he walks into the room with the right mental attitude, could beat any fighter right now.
Your prime and Khamzat Chimaev prime.
I love Khamzat.
Khamzat love you too. Wait.
I was really good at one point. I was really good. My kickboxing is really dynamic. My wrestling is really explosive. My submissions are really strong. My cardio, my physical strength, my confidence. In my prime, I believe I was the absolute best for a reason. I'm not in my prime anymore. You know, I'm almost 40 years old now. And I'm comfortable saying that Khamzat, I mean, he's a problem for anybody. I'm grateful to be his friend and his fan.
After discussing the current generation of fighters, Jones took a trip down memory lane and shared a remarkable story from the early days of his own career. Recalling his relationship with UFC president Dana White, the former heavyweight champion revealed that he was once gifted a Bentley in an effort to persuade him to accept another fight just weeks after his previous bout. Jones admitted he was only 25 at the time and, looking back, believes he wasn't ready for that level of success or responsibility. He revealed that he eventually crashed the luxury car, describing the experience as one of the lessons he learned during his rise to the top. Jones also opened up about the hardships that shaped him long before he became a UFC superstar. Reflecting on his upbringing, the former heavyweight champion described growing up in a neighborhood filled with crime, drugs, and violence, saying those experiences exposed him to harsh realities from an early age. Despite the difficult environment, he credited his parents for providing a strong foundation and revealed that his life took a positive turn after his father became a pastor and the family moved to a safer community. According to Jones, that change surrounded him with mentors and teachers who believed in his future and helped put him on a better path. Reflecting further on his rise to the top, Jones admitted that his early success eventually gave him a dangerous sense of invincibility. As he continued defending his title, he became convinced he simply wasn't meant to lose, believing everything was unfolding exactly as it was supposed to. That confidence, however, came at a cost. Jones revealed he gradually became complacent, putting less effort into training, spending less time studying opponents, and allowing distractions to creep into his lifestyle. Despite those shortcomings, he continued winning inside the octagon, a run of success that only reinforced the belief that he could get away with cutting corners. Whose side are you on in the Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier rivalry, and particularly, who do you believe? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more MMA news, updates, and exclusive coverage.